going to put you down because I don't want you to get hurt. Hi, I'm Sharon, and welcome to episode Lucky 13 of the Sampler Style Flosstube. Hi everybody, and welcome to episode 13. I have a fun episode ahead. What we're going to do is, first I'm going to tell you a little bit about my stitching favorites. I'm going to do this in about 3 parts because I have a lot of things that I like to use, and I want to show them to you, and I don't want you to get bored. And then I'm going to show you what I've been stitching on, and plans, and a little bit of haul. So stay tuned for all of that next. So before I move on, as you can see, I am not wearing glasses because I had cataract surgery. So I had my second eye done, and I can pretty much function without glasses. I cannot read anything, so I use readers. I don't have them around my neck right now. I left them downstairs, but anyway, I've just been using reading glasses to get by. I like to see my phone and everything. And I have a whole bunch of different kinds of glasses. I'll talk about more of them later, but anyway, I have readers. I have glasses I keep in the kitchen for like the vision right here, right about here. I call them my food glasses. And I have computer glasses, so each of them are like a different focal length. I am going to be getting progressives probably in about 6 weeks, but I have to wait for the eyes to just stabilize and the lenses to, settle in, and yeah, so everything's going well. The surgery went great. I asked them to give me a little more of the medication. The first time I had the surgery, I don't think they gave me enough, whatever they give you to relax, because, I don't know, I just could hear them talking, and I was still very tense, and it was fine, but I needed a little more something. So I asked them this time just to give me a little bit more, and that was perfect. I was kind of like in a little bit of a twilight, not really sleeping, and I was aware of what was happening, but it wasn't like as intense. So that was very nice. I don't even remember it very well, which is really ideal. So let's get on with everything. Let's talk about my stitching favorites. Okay, the first thing I'm going to talk about is lighting. And a company called BenQ reached out to me, and they offered to send me a light. I knew that BenQ was a really good company. They make a lot of tech items. I'm kind of a tech enthusiast, so I was familiar with the company. So I was really excited when they reached out to me. So they sent me a light, and it is the BenQ Genie e-reading desk lamp. And I really like it. So here it is. I'm going to show it to you. So here's the light. What I like about it, it's very modern. It's got a nice modern design. And it fits on my computer desk very nicely. Even though my design in my house is more traditional, it fits right in. It's very nice. And the bottom of it is very sturdy. It's heavy. It's very heavy. And it adjusts, which is lovely. And what I think my favorite part, you guys, first of all, I love the color. Gold, how pretty. But I love this. This cord is very nice. It's a braided cord, and it's matched to the light. It's gold, and it fits in this side, so it's not hanging all over your desk. And it's really cool. It's nice for cord management, and it's kind of pretty. So I like that. And it has touch controls. I love a light with touch controls. It's really, really nice. So if you touch this, you turn it on, and touch it again, you'll turn it off. And if you hold here, it becomes kind of like an e-reader. So if you hold it, an amber light will come on, and that will actually adjust to the light in the room to make it easier on your eyes for reading, and also one for computer work, which is super nice. I tried it with stitching. It is very bright, so you can control the brightness with this top knob and press it once and you can make it brighter or dimmer, and press it again, you can control the temperature. I like that because sometimes I don't like the real like white daylight. I kind of like it a little softer, so that's very nice too. And it's really bright enough to illuminate a large area for stitching, which I love. It's very, very nice. It's the way it's designed. I think it just the lamp inside casts a very nice area for illumination, which is great. So yeah, I would highly recommend the light. It's probably on the pricier side. I think it's $179. Maybe you could find a sale. Stitching lights often come with magnification. I know Colorado Cross Stitcher talked about one that had magnification, and that was $150, I think she said. I don't care for lights with magnification because the magnification tends to make me a little bit ill. I'm going to put you down because I don't want you to get hurt. And yeah, so I don't really care for lights that have the magnification built in. It just, if I look through it, it just kind of makes me sick. So this light's nice for me because I don't care for those magnification lights, and I actually have one on my desk, and it's not as bright as this one. So this one is much nicer for me for stitching. It's much brighter and with a wider field of light. So the other thing is you could also use it as a knitting lamp. I mean, I'm a knitter, and you could use it for crochet. You could use it as a bedside lamp. I like a touch bedside lamp because at night when I'm tired, I like to be able to touch. So that's nice too. If you are interested in this lamp, I will leave links in the description box down below. So thank you so much, BenQ, for sending me this light. I really, really appreciate it. I like it a lot, and yeah, thanks again. So the next thing I want to talk about as far as stitching is magnification. So I use two things depending on how tired I am. I showed this to you last week, and it's a Carson magnifier. I will link it down below. This one, I've seen them. I know that Fox and Rabbit showed one that they had gotten on Amazon that it's almost like you wear it over your ears. This one, it goes around your head. Has little eyes that you can see through. And I really like it. This I could probably see the best with. So if I was going to be stitching, say 46 count and above, I would use these. And yeah, it's pretty, they're very clear. This lens that I have on it is a 2.5. I think it goes up to a 3. There's a 3 in the box, which doesn't really coordinate with glasses. I'm not sure. These are a little bit different type of magnification, but it's good. Doesn't make me sick, and I really like these. Oh, but for stitching, I definitely need strong readers because I like to have it up close to my face so I can really see the holes. So I've been using these. These are a 5. I see really great with these. I got them on Amazon. I will link them down below. And, you know, different manufacturers, different sellers have different quality. These seem to be working really well for me. So I'm very, very happy with these. And that's what I'm using as far as magnification. The next thing I wanted to talk about was how do I hold my stitching? I am a hoop stitcher. I have talked about stitching in hand. I've tried it and I just keep going back to my hoop. So this is the size I normally use, and I'll tell you why in a minute. And as you can see, the bottom part is wrapped. This hoop is from Hoop and Frame. I think this is an 8-inch. Pretty sure. This is an 8-inch. I have a 10-inch and it was too big. So I use this that I got from Hoop and Frame. So the brand is Accoutrement Cotton Twill Tape. So you just take your hoop and you wrap the tape. Takes a while, but it works. You wrap it up, and at the very end you just take a stitch. So this is the thick end, and I took a stitch right here, and it holds perfectly. And it does two things. First thing it does, it holds your fabric a lot better in the hoop. It doesn't make it super drum tight, but that's fine. Hoops never, I don't think hoops ever make it really drum tight. I mean, maybe a queen hoop or a duchess hoop might. This one, not so much. But it's tight enough. It's great. So it helps hold the fabric, and I can leave fabric on this for weeks, and it won't make those hoop lines. It makes them initially when you take it off, but they're gone within an hour. I mean, it's really very nice. So I got both of these from Hoop and Frame. I will link it down below. And yeah, it's just your classic turn hoop. And I love these. Perfect. So how do I use this? I like a hoop because I am a two-handed stitcher. So I come up from the back with my dominant hand, which is my right hand, and I go down, so I'm constantly up and down, and I love it. I love stitching like that. It's perfect, but you need something to hold your work. So I use this frame. This is a K's Creations Z frame, and I modified it for how I like to use it. So I sit at my computer and stitch, or I sit at my computer desk and stitch, and I kind of sit at an angle, so it's kind of coming off my desk, you know, like this, and it's perfect. But I had to have my husband cut me a piece of wood to fit this on. And he cut me a piece of thicker wood that was shorter than the original wood that came, so it would fit on my desk better. And it's a little heavier, and it works perfectly well. And I also took a piece out. It just works really well for me. So you can tighten it and move these every which way, and I love it. I'll link it down below. I got mine on Etsy. And so what I do is I take my hoop and I use this small piece of felt to protect the fabric, and I put this on the side, and it fits in perfectly in this stand, and then I tighten it up, and then I can stitch two-handed. So I really love this. It's nice. It's portable, so I travel with it, and I don't travel by plane with it, but I've traveled by car with it, and it's worked out really well. I'm very happy with this frame. So the only thing is, it doesn't really work well with Q-snaps. Q-snaps are really heavy, and I don't like them for that reason. I don't like holding them. They're just too heavy for me. So I guess if you had a Lowry stand, I know a lot of people use a Lowry stand with Q-snaps. That's what you would probably need to do two-handed stitching. It doesn't work great with this. So if you have Q-snaps, it's not going to work great. That's why I love my hoops, because they're nice and light, and they're perfect for this. So that is it for part 1. Next week, I'll talk a little bit about the little things we use, like my favorite needles. Stay tuned for that. And my favorite threaders. I need a threader, especially now that I can't see as well. And yeah, things like that. Needle minders, fabric managers, things like that. So I'll be talking about all of that next time, actually in 2 weeks. So this brings us to my stitching. I have a finished object to show you today, you guys. I am so happy with this. I have been working on it monogamously, and that was the title of my episode last week. This is Winter Rose Manor by Brenda Gervais. Look how beautiful she is. I love this piece. So the pink house, let me hold it back a little farther. Yeah. So this is a truer representation of the colors and everything. So it's really beautiful. I stitch it on a 36 count Lakeside Linens. I think it's vintage pecan butter. And the pink looks like it's fading into the pecan butter color, but it's not really. In person, you can see it a lot better. So let me turn down my lighting a little bit. Okay, so this is a truer representation of the colors. So this is mostly called for colors. This is a color in cotton, Sampler Peach color. I substituted that for the conch. And everything else is mostly called for except this dark red. I wanted a more richer dark red, so I switched it out. As Brenda from Brenda and the Cereal Starter would say, this girl overstayed her welcome. I had to do a lot of ripping with this piece. Pretty much both of these border sides I had to rip. I had to rip the bottom border, I had to rip the fence, I had to rip this basket here. It was a lot. I would have finished it probably 3 weeks sooner if I hadn't done all that ripping. It was in timeout for a while. So I started it in November, and I finished it like mid-April. So let's see, December, January, February. So 4 months. It would have taken a lot less time if I didn't have to rip, and I worked on it monogamously, but I love it. I put my initials, SLB. I put the date, 2022, and it is beautiful. What do you think? So, I told you that it was off by a half a stitch, which drives me insane. And you can't really tell, honestly. It's right here by the fence. You can, if you look really close, it's off by half a stitch. I don't care, honestly. Certainly not ripping it out again, but it was driving me crazy as to where the mistake was. And I finally figured it out. It's right here in this top border where I have this pin marked. That is where the mistake is, right there. Not fun. I'm sure you've all had issues like that. It's fine. I'm letting it go. So yeah, that's her. Winter Rose Manor 2022. So I love this because it reminds me of my house. My yard is not this beautiful. However, well, my backyard is beautiful. My front yard needs a little work. But my house is white, not pink. It just, the shape of it kind of reminds me of my house. I have a tall, I'm calling it a 3-story because I'm up here in the attic and it's usable space. So it's a 3-story like this house. It's a 2, if you listed it on the market, it would be a 2-story, but it's really technically a 3-story home. And I have a red door, and my house is vintage. It is 94 years old. It was built in 1928. So it's as old as my dad. My dad is still with us. He's 94. And Mickey Mouse is also 94 years old. So, yeah. So it reminds me of my home. And it will have a permanent spot in my living room when she is framed. So when I finished Winter Rose Manor, I decided I really needed to catch up with Modern Folk Embroidery's 2022 Stitch Along, because I put that one away to work on this. I wanted to finish this. So I was behind 2 months. So I picked it up the other day, and I think this is going to go fast. This stitch along is pretty cool. It goes really, really quickly. If you're a fast stitcher, you could catch up really quickly if you wanted to stitch this. Here it is. This is stitched on 40 count. It is 40 count Legacy by Picture This Plus, and it is gorgeous. I love this piece to pieces. It's beautiful. I had to do some ripping on this one too. The top border was off by half a stitch, but it's okay now. And it's just gorgeous. This center motif is stunning. I love these black roses. They are so cool. They're beautiful. And even the cherubs grew on me. I was going to substitute them for birds. I'm glad I didn't. I think they're really cool. Her first name means little angel. That's so cute. So I'm not going to try and pronounce it because I will butcher it. So I need to finish. I've got a good start on this clue here, March's clue. And I'm hoping to get a lot of progress on this by the end of April. So that brings us to plans. Planning is so fun. I think that's why people have so many works in progress, because it's just so fun to plan what you're going to stitch. So speaking of works in progress, I have some things that I want to finish. So instead of starting things in May for Mania, I'm going to use Mania as a finish up month. And the first thing I'm going to finish is this long overdue Hound in the Hair by Modern Folk Embroidery. It's beautiful, and I want to finish it. I started it in 2020, as you can see, 2020. I'm not changing the date because it's kind of my marking the pandemic piece. Scary time back then, but stitching got us all through, you guys, so I'm leaving 2020 on here. And this is when I really became a serious stitcher. So if you're a longtime viewer of the show, you've seen this before, but I am going to finish this in May. Honestly, I think this is going to take me 2 weeks tops if I work on it monogamously, which I probably will work on Modern Folk, but this is definitely going to get finished. So it's mostly DMC colors, and this is a Dinky Dyes color because I wanted to try silk. It is stitched 2/2, which is why I haven't been working on it, because I prefer 1/2. And this is a picture, this plus shale, 32 count. So yeah, it will be finished hopefully in May. Another thing that I want to work on in May is this little pin keep by Blackbird Designs. I started this as a practice for stitching in hand. I'm going to throw it in a hoop and finish it up. This should probably only take me a day to finish in a hoop because it's small. And I want to try my hand at making a pillow. We'll see. And then I'd like to give some love to this one, Be of Good Cheer by the Scarlett House. I started this over the holidays. And yeah, I'd like to, I don't think I'll finish it, but I'll put some work into it. I'm going away in June, and this would be a great one to bring with me. I'm traveling alone. I'm going to visit my 94-year-old dad who lives in Florida, and I haven't seen him in 3 years because of COVID, but things are better now, and I'm really looking forward to seeing him again. So yeah, I'll have some time in the evenings to cross stitch, and I think I might bring that, although it's on 40 count, so maybe not. We'll see. I'll talk more about that as time grows. And then if I have a little time to squeeze in another WIP in May, this is my next big one that I want to work on, and I'm almost finished with it. It's Gott by Needlework Press. This is gorgeous. Once I start stitching on her, I will not want to stop, because she is beautiful. So I really only have the bottom to do. Okay, so the only other thing I have to show you is a little bit of haul. So I want to start another big project at some point, and I ordered linen, and I've been picking out the DMCs, and I'm gonna have some fun this summer planning out this project. I don't know if I'm gonna start it until next year, but I want to start Dutch Beauty. You've all seen it. It's gorgeous. And I got the linen. And this is a gorgeous piece of needle and flax. This is a fat half of Steinbeck. And it looks very gray on camera, but it's really a grayish tan, and it is stunning, you guys. It's 40 count, fat half, and Dutch Beauty is going to fit on this entire thing. It's huge. It's going to take me years. Maybe that's better. Anyway, it's hard to show fabric with lighting and everything. It's very difficult. But anyway, this is Steinbeck, 40 count, by Needle and Flax. It's my first Needle and Flax. She has such stunning colors from what I could see on Flosstubes. So I'm very excited to plan this and get my colors together, and I will take you along when I find my DMCs, because I'm doing a brighter, richer, not necessarily bright, but a richer color palette than what is called for in Dutch Beauty. So I've just dabbled my toe into that, and I haven't really put floss on here yet, but I will, and I will find a palette that I like. So planning, super fun. So the last thing I have to show you is my one and only market purchase from 2022, and I have my eye on those 2 Blackbird releases, so I'll get them at some point. I don't need them now, for real. I have a lot to stitch, but this caught my eye. I saw it on Fox and Rabbit's show, and this is GH 1857. This book is gorgeous. I would love to do some of the smalls in this book. And I definitely want to do the sampler. So I'm going to leaf through the book. I'm not going to show you patterns, obviously, but I will show you the book itself. So, beautiful. This is the sampler. This is the only photo of it. It's not the greatest photo. It's not the greatest photo. But when they showed it, I just fell in love with it. Those flowers are gorgeous. And I love the colors. The blues. They're very beautiful. So I definitely want to do the sampler. Pin drum is gorgeous. I think the author of this, had a club going with these, and she now released it as a book. And they're all stunning. They're just so delicate. I like that. I like small, delicate motifs. So if I was going to do a dough bowl for year-round, this is what I would choose. And here's the designer. She's adorable. Her name is Simone de Jong van Wissen. And this book is stunning. I highly recommend. If you love samplers and little smalls made from samplers, I would very much recommend this book. This really caught my eye. I'm really glad I got it. So maybe I will bring one of these to Florida and do it on a 36 count. We'll see. Okay, everybody, that's all I have for you today. I hope that you have a great 2 weeks. I hope things are warming up for you. It's warming up here in New York, which I'm super excited about. Please, if you like this show and like my content, give me a big thumbs up and subscribe. I would love if you subscribe to this channel. It really helps my channel out to grow. It helps us all out. It is a wonderful gift that you can give to any content creator that you enjoy. So thank you in advance. I would love it if you subscribe to this channel. So again, have a great week. Stitch something beautiful, and cheers!